Hello, friend, and welcome to Daily Treasure, a devotional podcast by Sharon Betters, produced by Mark Inc. Ministries. This week, our guest writer is Jenny Marceline, and I'm your narrator, Jane Ann Wilson. Today's devotional is Trusting God's Steadfast Love, and today's treasure is, Let me hear in the morning of your steadfast love, for in you I trust. Make me know the way I should go, for to you I lift my soul. Psalm 143, verse 8. Last night, orange letters flashed their warning on the black digital road sign. Residents were instructed where to pick up sandbags for the impending storm heading our direction. This morning, as I gaze out my living room window from the dry comfort of my plush armchair, sipping oolong tea, ceaseless buckets of rain pour down from the sky. Our sidewalks have turned into brooks. The creek for runoff water has become a fast-flowing stream. The dark gray sky maintains its poker face and dispels hope for drier, sunnier moments anytime soon. I wait to see how the storm unfolds. On a heart level, the author of this psalm, David, known as a man after God's own heart and the second king of the Israelites, understands this waiting during a storm. After receiving a promise from God that he would become king, he finds himself fleeing from the current king, Saul, who wants nothing more than to end his life. David is desperate, scared, confused, hopeless. He's at the end of his rope. Perhaps you've been there too, unsure what's transpiring, shards of your dream crunching underneath your feet, fearful about an outcome, lonely. Rather than succumbing to despair, David turns his eyes to his faithful God. He doesn't know when God will stop Saul's pursuit of him, but David knows God's love can sustain him moment by uncertain moment. The Hebrew word for steadfast love can be translated as loyal love. This loyal love implies God will step into the situation as a way to demonstrate his love. David understands God's intervention may not happen now or in the ways he anticipates, so he cries out for the Lord to strengthen him to endure, to cultivate a trust he may not feel in these frightening moments. God used a season of difficulty to shape David into a man who relied upon God alone and experienced the bottomless love of the Lord along the way. This molding, however painful, was foundational for what David would face in the years ahead as the king of the Israelites. For believers, we are guaranteed trials are par for the course in our lives, 1 Peter 4:12. But we also know his steadfast love is always beside us, Lamentations 3:22, and why David cries out for a reminder of God's love in his storm. While the storm raged around my community, soon I returned to walking my Labradoodle puppy around our neighborhood. Uprooted trees adorn some of my neighbors' yards. A friend shows me pictures of her flooded yard on her phone. But the storm passed, and even though rain is forecasted to return tomorrow, today the sun greets us. No matter how bleak our situation may feel, or how unrelenting our circumstances seems, we can ask the Lord to sustain us with his love and cultivate a deeply rooted trust in him as we walk through hardships. Lord, help us to keep our eyes fixed on you as we walk through trials. Remind us of your steadfast love and deepen our trust in you. Amen.
Well, friends, I'm Sharon Betters, and it's such a joy to know about the thousands of people who are accessing Daily Treasure every single day. We call this Daily Treasure because of the focus we have on biblical encouragement. As some of you know, I wrote a book on encouragement called Treasures of Encouragement, and it's packed with a biblical perspective on encouragement, as well as lots of practical ways to encourage others. And it was written out of the heartache and the sorrow of losing our 16-year-old son, Mark, and his friend, Kelly, in a fatal car accident. But we want you to be encouraged, to be encouragers. We want you to take action after you hear the devotional, that it would not just encourage you, but it would fill you up with the joy of Jesus in such a way that you pray that God would lead you to that one person today who needs a touch. It may be someone that you don't know. It may be the cashier. It may be the bus driver. It could be the teacher at school. It could be an employee or your employer or a neighbor, a loved one, and go beyond what you would typically feel safe in doing. Go beyond that circle and pray for the Lord to lead you to one person who needs his touch today. I have a feeling that you're going to be the one who is blessed more than the one you've encouraged. So make sure that you are an encourager today with the help and hope of Jesus. I'm Sharon Betters. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to being with you tomorrow.